Hi, this is Andrew Berman from NMP, and thank you for joining us for another Mortgage Leadership Outlook, where we come to you live every Wednesday, 4 o'clock East Coast time, 1 o'clock Pacific, with the greatest leaders of the mortgage business. And today I'm really excited about today. So today is a special treat. But we happen to, if you've caught actually about a month ago or so, we did a series called the Broker Edition. This is the Mortgage Leadership Outlook Broker Edition, and it was sponsored by our good friends over at PennyMac Broker Direct. And I just thought it would be a great opportunity to bring the Senior Managing Director, head of the wholesale, Kimberly Nichols. She is Senior Managing Director over at PennyMac Loan Services. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thanks. Thanks so much for having me on, Andrew. I've been really looking forward to this.
Listen, it was, I know actually when we connected initially and we're talking about it through LinkedIn, I was like, this is great. This is exciting. And then, I think we had a great season for, as a matter of fact, I'm going to show this great season for the Broker Edition. And if you haven't seen it, please use the link down below. I put together a little playlist so you can watch the Broker Edition that was sponsored by PennyMac Broker Deck. We had 4 brokers on there. These were like top brokers. I mean, really just amazing. I mean, one of the brokers closed a loan in 10 days. I couldn't believe that. But go dig into that playlist. You'll catch it. But all, phenomenal producers. All right. So Kim, I got a lot of questions that I want to ask you here. And by the way, if anyone has any questions, please use the comment box. Feel free to ask any questions that you might have. We'd love to get to your questions. So first, Kim, let's start off. How did you get involved in the mortgage business? I'm assuming you didn't go to college to become actually a mortgage professional, right?
Right. I mean, who does? Maybe we'll change that someday, but So I've been dying to tell this story. So I actually started in this business when I was a teenager. I did. And it all started in a closet. So let me explain that. So I was going to school part-time and I needed a part-time temp job. So I registered with a temp agency. And when I was in high school, my dad owned a small trucking company. And I worked with him in the summers, did some invoicing and dispatch work and things like that. So on my resume was this kind of shipping experience, if you will. So the temp agency sees shipping experience and connects me with this mortgage company that needed some help in their shipping department. Well, my job in the shipping department was literally to stand in a closet all day long next to a Xerox machine and photocopy loan files. That's all I did. No windows. I was in the closet. And, from there, like the rest is history. I started noticing, all these loan files are going into a box, and this box is labeled Fannie Mae, and Fannie Mae lives in Beverly Hills. And I'd ask people, who's Fannie Mae? Oh, the investor. And I'm thinking, this Fannie Mae lives in Beverly Hills, someone very special that gets all these loan packages delivered. So I started asking all these questions, and the benefit of working in the closet at the Xerox machine is that the executives who worked on the same floor would come through. They'd need to use the Xerox machine. I'd pause my job and I'd just start talking to them and ask them all these questions. And the rest is history.
Wow. So you caught the bug in high school before you even graduated. You caught the bug, and so and when did it hit you? So obviously you with this Fannie Mae person must have a lot of money, but at what point did you say, wow, I think I found my calling, I think I found a career? When did that hit you?
I would say it was very soon after that. And to clarify, I was actually in college when I took the temp job. So, it was pretty much immediately post high school. And I got the bug so fast. What happened was I just started asking a lot of questions. And it was just so fascinating to me, hearing about how the capital markets worked and having people that would sit with me and helping me put all the pieces together. The more I learned, the more I got the bug.
Wow, fantastic. All right, so here you are. You found you loved it. You became actually well, someone who's connected to the business. So and you've had a phenomenal career. And please and then go look Kimberly up on LinkedIn. I mean, between I think you were at PMI for a bit. You were at GMAC. This your resume is phenomenal. Can you talk about some of the mentors that you have had along the way?
Sure, sure. So let me go back to the closet. And after I stepped out of the closet, getting a job, doing shipping loans to, the GSEs and learning that side of it, I connected with a guy by the name of Bob Lee. Bob Lee ran our secondary marketing department back at this mortgage company that I worked for. And I kept coming to him and asking him questions. And he saw how interested I was in learning more about capital markets. And he loved teaching. And he would just on a whim call me into his office and say, hey, I'm hedging a builder forward this morning. Would you like to see how it's done? And talk to me about hedging, rate sheet pricing, buying options. And he loved to teach and I loved to learn. And he was such an incredible mentor and set an amazing foundation for me to understand the economics of this business. And one great story is there was a economic symposium, and it was hosted by Prue back in the day, and Larry Kudlow was speaking in this big ballroom. And here I was, maybe 20, 21 years old, and one of our execs couldn't go. And Bob says, Kim, would you like to go? And I got to go as this, 20 something going to hear Larry Kudlow speak when I had totally caught the bug and was just in this intense learning mode and really enjoying learning about this industry.
That's so awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think, you had me thinking about mentors when you asked these questions, Andrew. And then from there, I had a great female mentor and a lady by the name of Kim Schubert, who's at PennyMac today. So when I left the first company, Kim pulled me over and I got to share an office with her. And I don't know why they put us together. I don't think there was a space shortage, but, maybe someone had the foresight to say, let's have the two Kims sit together, Kim 1 and Kim 2. And she was really brilliant, obviously still is. And she taught me so much. I got to learn by osmosis. And we worked together on non-conforming products. And so I learned a lot about, whole loan trading and private placement, private label securitization, things like that, working alongside Kim. Then the next mentor comes in and at that same company. And one day, he was the EVP of capital markets there, a guy by the name of Bill Conkey, who's still in the business also, comes in and lets us know that the guy who's running our trade position left the company unexpectedly. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's too bad. And he's all, you, Kim 2, you're on deck. I'm teaching you this. And guess what I got to do? I learned to run the position. Wow. Back when we were trading 8.5, Andrew.
Wow, this is so exciting. That's great.
Yeah.
So listen, so you were given actually a lot of opportunity. Any other mentors? I don't want to cut you off because you've already told me some great people that, I mean, it's no reason why you've been successful. People actually saw your potential and gave you an opportunity to connect to these mentors. And any other mentors that have kind of helped shape your career?
Yeah, and a very, very important one to me. I have had the great fortune of working alongside Doug Jones at PennyMac for the last 10 years. I met Doug back at Bank of America when I was there, but did not report directly to him. And then he brought me and a handful of people on board to really build, the correspondent division at PennyMac back in 2011. And he's been my boss ever since. 10 years working alongside one of the greatest leaders in the mortgage industry. Doug is so smart. He is high integrity, high intensity. You never rest when you're in Doug Jones' organization. You can achieve the greatest production revenue goal. And he's like so ready to tackle the next one. And he's just such a fine leader around, females and promoting gender equality and really helping his females in his organization grow. He's a champion for that, and he walks the walk. It's meaningful to him on so many levels, not the least of which he thinks it creates a better business for us. But he's been just a champion, great leader for me. You work with someone for 10 years like that, you have some pretty candid conversations, and I've had the opportunity to get great candid feedback from him, and he's truly helped me become a leader.
Wow, that's awesome. It's a superstar lineup of mentors. Really just phenomenal. So, and I wonder actually if you feel, and this is like, and I think actually mentors have a lot to do with bringing people into, the C-suite or executive roles. So can you talk to us about what do you think is needed to bring more women into, the top executive roles and into the C-suite?
Yeah, we're making progress there, Andrew. I see evidence of that every day. I mean, look who, we just were in Christy Williams, who, the head post at the NBA. You're seeing large, important trade organizations have women leaders. Linda McCoy at NAM. You've got, Katie Sweeney over at AIM. You're seeing this happen across the industry, which is great, but it's still very much a male-dominated industry. And so I think, a couple things need to happen. One is we need to keep recruiting into the industry, but we all have to work harder to ensure that females get these leadership opportunities and that females get the visibility. And you doing something like this to give me a voice and visibility and talk about these issues it is fantastic. And I think more of that. We have to, as I said, work harder, because the talent pool of qualified females for leadership roles is small still, because we've been this male-dominated industry. So as we see candidates for leadership roles, we have to say, okay, what is the reason why I wouldn't consider this candidate? And COVID, in fact, was a little bit instructive for me around location. I'll give you that as an example. I was recruiting for an executive level position a few years back, and I interviewed a couple of females who were very well qualified, but they weren't in the geography that I wanted. I wanted somebody near, who could be at our corporate office. And for family reasons, a couple of females said, I just can't leave where I'm at. Families, I can't leave. Today, in having 18 months of being, some people working remote or working in different locations, I would really try to solve for qualified female leaders in my organization. And I think, just thinking through and problem solving around bringing leaders in, going that extra mile to try to make that work is really important in bringing folks into these roles. The other thing that we are challenged with, I think, is female founders in the IMB space, right? There are a lot of male founders, but I'm ready for those female founders. Those are going to become future leaders for us. Hire more females, bring more into the industry, and a company like PennyMac, we want to help female founders. Whether you're a broker, you're in the non-delegated space, your correspondent. We want to hear from you. What can we do to help you grow your business? Or if you're thinking about founding your own company, would love to, network around that and have that discussion around how we can help you.
Interesting. Now, is this something formal? I mean, is this something I see that is part? And I'm going to talk about the We Merge program. Is this like where you is that something you do like as a personal project, or is this a PennyMac initiative?
Yeah, I would say it's something that we just do, right? It's not formal, but I would encourage anyone who's considering founding a company or is, has started a company, wants to grow it, to talk to us. I mean, my counterpart on the delegated correspondent side, Abby Tidmore, another senior managing director, our head of business technology, Tracy Hunter, very senior person at PennyMac. I mean, we've got a lot of women here that, are in senior leadership roles that would bring about our resources to help.
Fantastic. Well, and we just got a question that just came in here. Hold on, let's get it from our editorial team. We got Katie Jensen. So do you believe women are held in a glass box as well as a glass ceiling, meaning women, are boxed to certain roles like administration and HR?
I think that does happen. I think we have to be really aware when that happens, and we need to take steps to expose the women in our companies to other possibilities. I would gladly take someone, from who's been in HR, because those are the fields that women, take potentially early career, jump into the HR world or other roles like that. But somebody who displays talent, a great work ethic, and willingness to learn, I'd take them any day. That kind of DNA, and help to teach them the business side. Something I read the other day, Andrew, was that only 21.9% of finance majors enrolled right now are female. So in order to execute into, more making this industry more broadly female, we probably are going to have to reach into different disciplines and try to attract talent into some of the more, technical and business roles and, sales, production, sales leadership roles.
Yeah, I remember. By the way, head of the MBA, Christy Furco, she was in HR. She, early on in her career. So, head of mortgage over at Wells now. So,
Yes.
it's definitely something. Yeah. It's an entry point. So yeah, we got Tammy Wallace saying, "Preach, Kim." Very cool. Rosanna, thank you for your leadership. And this is someone actually we have from Tiara. I've experienced the glass box myself, being told by a previous employer that nobody wanted to do a multi-million-dollar deal with a woman when looking to move to a commercial LO position. So thankful I've broken out of that box.
That is so brutal. That is brutal. I think, one of the things that I would really encourage women in this business to do is find a great culture. It exists. I know companies that, offer great experience for females who want to develop their career and grow. And, I just think finding the right culture, do your diligence, network in the industry, these great companies, PennyMac, one of these, that we really believe in this. We want to grow females. We know that we're under-indexed in terms of female representation in higher leadership roles. And there is, from the top of our organization, there is really a tremendous effort and support for changing that. And we really feel it here at PennyMac.
I mean, it's so apparent. It's so apparent actually by the things that I've learned. And one of the things I learned about actually, and Katie Jensen, kind of to her credit, she learned about the We Merge program, which you were the co-founder and a committee member. This is a company-wide program that kind of has the purpose of mentoring, empowering and promoting, high potential females. So can you talk to us a little bit about the We Merge program?
Yes, yeah. So this started out really, really organic with me, Abby Tidmore, Tracy Hunter, and our company saying, we just want a forum for women to network, get to know each other, so we can promote each other's careers and increase visibility for women within actually it was just the production groups, production and business technology. And so it started out very organic. We just kind of had a cocktail party and everyone said, gosh, that was great. And then we talked about having a little bit more formalized programs and listening to the females within our groups hearing what their needs were in terms of development, just things they were curious about. So we started doing a little bit more formal programs. And our chairman, then Stan Curlin, our CEO, then David Spector, said, can we take this enterprise wide? And so we did. And now, we have, I don't know how many members we're actually up to. We're kind of in our membership drive season, and we just got a new charter. But, starting probably 6 years ago from that organic base to now offering the opportunity for every female within our company to participate in WeMerge. And then also the founders of the organization seated leadership positions so that others can take leadership positions as part of their leadership development and developing those leadership skills as we, perform the mission of WeMerge, which is really to, mentor, encourage, grow careers, and provide exposure to different business areas for females who want to grow their careers at PennyMac. We had a couple of really, really great sessions, anything from improving your public speaking skills, getting comfortable speaking in a public setting. One of my favorites was when our CFO walked line by line through our financials to give everybody a view of the economics of our business. How do we make money? How do we win? That was really, really great. Had someone speak about data and analytics. We've had a fireside chat between a board member and our CFO. So we've had some really, really great sessions.
All right. So Tiara McClure wrote 260 to 300. I guess that's how many members you guys have.
Yes. Tia is one of our WeMerge leaders now. She's one that stepped up and raised her hand.
Fantastic. Thanks, Tia. So listen, one of the things that, as a matter of fact, Katie brought up in our conversations we were talking about. So there's a McKinsey survey about women in the workplace. It says 1 in 3 women, have considered downshifting their career, like they're getting burnout. So do you think actually burnout happens more in women than it does in their male counterparts?
I've seen that statistic as well, and I think it is elevated for women. Although I think, with the great resignation and everything that's happened in the last couple of years with COVID, burnout has been a little bit more widespread, among the worker base in this country. But women do see that, I think, more often. And I think that's probably because of, societal norms and women kind of carrying the, greater responsibility of family and home in addition to careers.
Interesting. So what can we do about it? What can we do to kind of, to prevent, leaders like yourself from feeling that burnout?
Yeah, I think, COVID obviously made that more challenging for parents of young children, and that being schooled at home on Zoom and having to coordinate and sort of be the teacher also. Those efforts have been really extra challenging. You couple that with, to back-to-back, record mortgage markets. You want to see burnout, I think you just look into the mortgage industry, right? But
Yeah.
In terms of preventing it, I think it's flexibility. Employers really, supporting and being flexible around some of these family issues and the extra family responsibilities that we have as women. And I can remember a day when I really didn't want to admit I have 3 kids, and was raising these kids while I'm growing my career at the same time. And, there were times that I didn't want to admit that it was hard, or that, I felt bad about missing a certain activity with my children, or that the mornings were challenging for me because I had to get 3 kids off to school, and by 8:45 I had to be at my desk presenting something at 9 o'clock, and then maybe catching a plane at 2 o'clock that afternoon. And so I think just more openness about this, which I encourage with my team. If they're having challenges around managing family, managing work. Like I want to help solution around that. It's
Yeah.
really important, and it's back to your earlier question, Andrew. How do we make sure that we have female leaders for the future? We don't want to lose females in our workforce in this industry. We have to find ways to prevent burnout and solution for those.
So can you talk a little bit more about, like, sounds like you do some things like, see, with your family, but can talk a little bit some about more of the things that you've done to prevent burnout. I mean, do you take vacations? Do you kind of actually have a time that you stop working? If you could just give us some kind of insights.
Well, I would say, it took me a long time to be able to learn this and do this, is setting boundaries and setting time for myself. And for me, that's the mornings. That's my time. I'm going to exercise, and I'm going to do some things for myself or for my family that before the crazy work day starts. I'm gonna take care of those things. Do a little bit of self-care, and I think no matter what time of day it is, everybody needs that self-care moment. Whether it's an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, you have to carve it out, or you will. And I'm not the best person at balance. Anybody who's who worked with me can tell you that. I definitely burn the candle at both ends. But I have learned to set boundaries, set time for self-care, and and I think we just need to be open about that. We can't work 24/7. Whether it's family or career, you have to. Everybody needs that downtime.
Yeah.
I think exercise is great. By the way, exercise is another good one. Just to kind of clear the head and kind of take you out of that mode for a bit.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, balance implies, that things are even, and they just can't. You can't run a top 5 wholesale lender and actually spend as much time with your family as you can on your career. I mean, so, like, do you take vacations?
I do. Yes. Yes.
Like
I
cell
wasn't
phone
always
free?
good about that, but I do. And I have to say, the organization that I work in, I go back to Doug Jones, key mentor for me. He really pushes us to have that balance. And I can remember a time, one day I told him my son has a soccer game, and we had a conference call that was going along, and he looked at the clock. He goes, "Kim, it's 4 o'clock. You told me your son had a soccer game. What are you doing here?" And he just never wants us to sacrifice family or, kind of a balanced life for having a career in his organization. He is emphatic about it. And I told you, he never stops. He's always going, but he does believe in balance.
Well, that's awesome. I love it. Ben, by the way, I'm going to do another shameless plug for the broker edition that we did. I'm just going to flash the banner up here. So if anyone's joining us late here, please use that link, nmplink.com/broker edition. So you can watch 4 amazing brokers that PennyMac Broker Direct introduced us to. We went in there. I mean, just some beasts of originators, just masters of the craft. Like I was saying before, one of them is closed a loan in 10 days. But if you could do it once, I believe you could do it multiple times. So definitely check that. Yeah. So, and I want to actually talk about 2 things. I want to talk about, what are you excited about? But first, talk about, what do you feel our industry's biggest threats are?
So, I think as we go from, back to back, just banner years, when we have, 4.1 trillion, 3.8 trillion, and now the MBA's current forecast is 2.58 trillion, right? So a drop of over 30% coming our way soon, right?
Yeah.
And so, I think that we always get concerned about irrational or irresponsible market behavior. And it's just my hope that the lessons of the past instruct our actions in the future as we go into this cycle. And, I think we all look like, great, we all look like geniuses the last couple of years, right? It's kind of hard not to make money. And we all looked like great risk managers too, because your HPI going up, rates were low, and so there are some risks out there that I think we've got to stay focused on. You've got rates going up, home prices really appreciating. People will be stretched for affordability. We've got to watch out for income misrep, occupancy misrep, and really focus on our risk management disciplines going into this cycle.
Yeah, I think definitely some great tidbits. And any what are you excited about? What are you excited about? And if you could talk specifically about the broker channel and the community that you guys serve so well. I mean, and by the way, like one of the cool things about actually the having the chance to interview the brokers on the broker edition, they talked about so much love for PennyMac. It was phenomenal. Like, I know you guys did not compensate them for saying this stuff, but
I didn't know what you were going to say, Andrew. I didn't.
Listen, there's no question about it. Like, if you could have not come up with better praise to give PennyMac, if you guys designed it from your marketing department and PR department themselves. So talk a little bit about some of the things that you're excited about specifically for the mortgage broker and the wholesale channel.
Right. Well, those guys are phenomenal, and they're such an inspiration for me personally as we build our strategy and we plan ahead. It's just listening to them, their needs, what keeps them up at night, how can we make their life easier is really what inspires me and my team every day. But I will tell you, one topic we're really excited about is just technology. And I'm sure you hear that from others, but think about it. The last couple of years have been so amazing. All made a lot of money, and we've taken that and we've taken the time to invest in technology, unplug legacy systems that were maybe weighing us down. And now we've got, new technology. We can plug in all sorts of great things. There is a fintech a day coming at us with new ideas. One of these will be a transformative technology, that we'll want to tap into. More than one, but I think there's just so much investment in fintech coming in that it's truly going to help us. And we're in a position to plug into some of these technologies. And what's really exciting about the broker channel, if you think about it, the new technology really enables us to enable the broker sitting in their communities as if they're this large, tech-enabled lender without them having to invest in the technology. We can create this Amazon-like experience for the broker sitting in their office, somewhere in Ohio or wherever, because we have the scale and ability and the desire to equip them with the tools and technology that they can bring right into their market and create that sort of easy to use Amazon-like experience for their customers. So I'm really excited about, the next couple of years. I think that the loan process is going to change so much over the next 3 to 4 years, more so than it did in the last decade, because there's this just vast investment in technology coming in, and I think we're just in a great spot to help that in.
Well, it's fantastic. I'm hoping we hear more stories like one of the brokers, we met who closed a loan in less than 10 days. I think actually, to your point, brokers now have access to all the same technology that the biggest lenders do. So it's great. So, Kim, thank you.
Right?
I'm sorry, you just broke up. What was that?
Yeah. We have to. That's how to survive.
Fantastic. Unfortunately, the connection's coming a little choppy, and I apologize if it's my connection. But we had a good 34 minutes with before we got a little choppy there. But Kim, thank you so much. An amazing story. Really actually, to get inside your career, to hear actually, how you started in the closet in college, and emerged from the closet, to various different positions in the mortgage business, to now running, the wholesale channel over at PennyMac Broker Direct. It's a great actually opportunity to be able to work with you and have the opportunity to highlight some of your actually partners. And without any, here we go. Kimberly's coming back here. So Kim will come on and we will sign off. But everyone, thank you for joining us for another Mortgage Leadership Outlook. We have some great guests coming up next week. We have the #1 loan originator. This beast did 8,000 transactions, 8,000 transactions in the last 14 months. It is going to be unbelievable. We're going to learn a little bit about his process. And Kim's back. Kim, thank you for coming back to before we could say goodbye to everyone.
Thanks so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, very cool to get inside your career, understand actually, your process, and it sounds like your thirst for education, was recognized by your mentors, which allowed you to kind of move up and just, working with some amazing mentors, who just worked their butts off, and just kind of, help bring you in, kind of led you to where you are today. So everyone, thank you for joining us for another Mortgage Leadership Outlook. We go live every Wednesday, 4 o'clock East Coast time, 1 o'clock Pacific. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on the next show. Everyone, have a great day.
Thanks.